How will Pakistan be impacted by the war in Iran? I'll explain it with three important points. First, Shia population in Pakistan. Pakistan has one of the largest Shia populations outside of Iran, and historically, Shia Muslims in Pakistan have had very close cultural and religious ties with the Iranian government, and therefore, after the Israeli and U.S. attacks in Iran and the killing of Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei, we see a lot of anger on the streets of Pakistan. In Karachi, we've been hearing that hundreds of angry protesters tried to storm at the building of U.S. consulate, and there were clashes with the police, and several people were injured, and there are reports that at least 9 people were killed. There are protests also still going on. There's a protest sit-in actually very close to the US consulate in Karachi, and then also in Lahore, in Islamabad, and other parts of the country. So it's very important how these Shia Muslims in Pakistan will respond to the events unfolding in Iran. Second, the historical context in Pakistan. Pakistanis are still very traumatized by the 20-year invasion of the US and NATO troops in Afghanistan. That was the time when, although Pakistani government was accused of supporting the Afghan Taliban, but Pakistani government was also simultaneously fully supporting the US and NATO troops in their invasion in Afghanistan, whether it was through NATO supply routes, whether it was through military operations, intelligence sharing with the US and NATO troops, or the very aggressive US drone campaign in Pakistan, in which, according to Amnesty International and other human rights groups, civilians were killed. What we saw during that time, very dangerous militant groups were created as a resistance. These militant groups saw Pakistan as a partner of US and NATO troops, and they saw the presence of US and NATO troops in Afghanistan as an invasion. And these militant groups then started fighting a war with the Pakistani state and Pakistani civilians. And we all know that thousands of Pakistanis were killed in the militant attacks. And these militant groups, including Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, became very close with the Afghan Taliban and was also fighting with the Afghan Taliban in Afghanistan against the US and NATO troops. So Pakistanis are still traumatized by that context, and many Pakistanis are worried and have concern that now there is again a new war at Pakistan's doorstep with direct involvement of the US. And there are concerns what could be the effects of that war in Pakistan. Pakistan shares border with Afghanistan with its restive province of Balochistan, and there are fears. Some security experts say if there is instability in Iran, there are fears that militant groups from Iran could cross border into Pakistan, or the militant groups in Balochistan could also be emboldened. So therefore, Pakistan would have to see how the security situation unfolds in Iran. And thirdly, it's very important how diplomatically Pakistan handles this situation. So far, what we have seen, Pakistan has condemned the US and Israeli attacks on Iran, despite the fact that Pakistan has been aggressively trying to develop or to warm its relations with the US. But Pakistan has also condemned the Iranian attacks on Gulf countries. Pakistan has called Pakistani Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister has spoken with the Iranian Foreign Minister and has expressed solidarity with the Iranian leadership. But Pakistani Prime Minister has also called the Saudi Crown Prince, and Saudi Arabia is a country with which Pakistan has a defense pact, and also tens and thousands of Pakistani migrant workers work in Saudi Arabia. Pakistani Prime Minister has also called the Qatari leader. Qatar is also a very important partner for Pakistan. So Pakistan maintains good relations with the Gulf countries, wants to maintain good ties with the Iran, does not want instability in Iran, also wants to maintain its relations with the US. Pakistan does not have any diplomatic relations with Israel. Pakistan does not recognize the Israeli government, the Israeli state. And other than Israel, Pakistan would want stable relations with all of the parties involved, and would not want to be in a position where it would have to take side of any one party in this conflict.